Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to have a sketchbook tour. This one's kind of fun because I see this weird little guy that showed up. I don't know, a baby something who's got a bottle and one eye. You can see how much I use calligraphy, but it's not always every single mark. I can go back in and make little teeny tiny details. And then I see this 48 here, and I have no idea why that's there or why I picked 48. I don't know. I guess I just felt like it. My specific style is very influenced by calligraphy. When I paint, I don't make it a legible writing form. I just use it as a basis of making marks that have a lot of contrast. This is obviously a mess, and it's okay. I was probably on the subway because there's these drip marks everywhere. Sometimes if there's a drip mark, I try to make the most of it, and I just kept drawing off of it. I don't consider this a very great final finished piece, but it's so interesting because if you turn it around, now I see a little face here. And then I also see something that looks like an elephant. Not intentional at all, but it's really fun sometimes to just fill up a page full of marks and then go back and see what you can find in there. That's why I don't like planning or trying to have a specific idea of what I'm going to draw. I start with one mark and then I decide the next mark based off of the last mark to just let things kind of create themselves.
Welcome, adventurer.
Like this video and subscribe.
This is one of my favorite tools. This is the Pilot Parallel Calligraphy Fountain Pen. And what I really love about this, it has a metal tip, which is also called a nib. And what that means is you can get these super sharp thin lines and thick lines. And you can also switch it out to colors. Red, blue, green, purple, there's plenty to choose from. This was actually just a practice. I was messing around with a steel dip pen, trying to push the pen to make a splatter. You get a really cool effect, but it can also ruin the tip. This one was painted at the WNYC Transmitter Park in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It's on the East River shoreline with an awesome view of the Manhattan skyline. I took this picture when I finished, and then realized that the abstract pattern actually resembled the sunset reflection in the water. Oh, and another thing that I see here, two fishies kissing. Aw, that's sweet. And this little guy looks suspiciously like a very happy seahorse. Maybe we should get him back in the water. So while we're on the subject of water, this is the Yasutomo Niji water brush. So this is a synthetic paintbrush, and then you fill the cartridge with water, and then that allows you to take a watercolor kit like this, and then you always have a way to make art no matter where you are. Oh, Super Bowl Sunday, February. Now that I think about it, this does kind of look like the stitches of a football. And I know I'm reaching, but, you know, I see that in there. And I was not too crazy about the Chiefs losing. This is the Canson mixed media paper pad, and I highly recommend it. It's pretty inexpensive. It's got a spiral binding, which means you can lay it flat. You can get clean lines, smooth, but it also has enough texture and enough weight that you can pretty much fill it with watercolor and it holds up. This is one that's very saturated in color. Usually I make the black marks first, and then I put the color in between the marks. This time I laid down the color first, and then I went back in with the marker. I like these Marvy markers a lot. They are black and crisp. These markers allow you to move quickly, and the ink flow is consistent, and they are perfect for traveling. I just think it's fun to play with spacing, keep the spacing really tight. It kind of looks like a big zipper. It makes a pretty cool movement when you start moving the marks and then changing the size a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And one thing I wanted to mention, I spin my pad when I'm drawing. I will make a few marks and then turn it this way and then turn it as I go. And that's why I never really know what's going to pop out. Not sure why there's a 5 here. If you know why there's a 5 in here, please let me know. This one was painted at Moonlight Mile in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Didn't want to be home anymore, and they had outdoor seating, so I had some time to just sit out on the sidewalk and draw. And that's what came out. I can't tell if that looks like an eyeball or an enchanted dandelion, but I guess two things can be true at the same time. There is a ton of different watercolor travel kits out there. I have a hard time deciding which ones to get. This is the watercolor kit that I used for this sketchbook, and I bought a bunch more to try out so that I can make a review video. We'll check pigment quality, pricing, durability, and ease of use. I use mine in the subway and in parks, so portability is a huge factor for me, but I'll use these at home too. And let me know, what do you use for your travel watercolor kit? If you do use one, I would love to know. Maybe that I'll add that to the little video where I review these things, and we'll see which ones come out on top. I painted this one at Union Square, and this is a little bit different. It's more scratchy and textury, and it's got a little more lightness to it. When I went back through my sketchbook for this video, I think I found the subconscious inspiration, which is this little sculpture that I had on my shelf. Hopefully this is inspiring for you to experiment with abstract drawing and making marks to develop your own abstract style. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like this video and subscribe.